Welcome back to the Budget Gamer channel, where we bring you critical and in-depth reviews of just about every indie game we can get our hands on, and today we're going to be taking a look at Null Drifter for the Nintendo Switch. And for this one, even if you're not strictly a fan of full-on bullet hell style games, I really would encourage you to stick around for the entire review. Starting off with the story, as we would expect, there's really not much of one, but it is cool to realize that the whole premise of Null Drifter is that it exists as a pilot training simulation within the universe of Project Starship. Project Starship, of course, being another bullet hell style game, so it's kind of cool to see this retro style pilot training simulation kind of game come out of this other game idea. And one of the things that I actually find kind of cool and kind of refreshing about Null Drifter is that there really aren't any modern innovations superimposed into this arcade-style bullet hell. It is your standard twin-stick shooter with an ever-increasing difficulty level. And of course, outside the level, out of gameplay, you can purchase the quintessential upgrades to your ship, such as increased number of blasts, increased rate of fire, increased damage. Other than that though, you can also purchase some additional bonuses, such as added item drops, doubling the amount of cash you pick up from killing enemies, and even gaming glitches that'll send you a little bit ahead on starting your next gameplay. But no matter how far you make it into the game, even if it's on your first gameplay with no upgrades and you don't manage to crush that first boss, you'll slowly start to unlock new game features on each and every playthrough of the game, and obviously the more you play through and the further you make it, you'll unlock new enemies, new bosses, and dozens of new color palettes to play with. The total gameplay though starts over pretty much unless you purchase one of those bonuses at level 1, and destroying a handful of enemies gets you up to a boss, crushing the boss moves you on to the next level. And one of the fun parts is that the entire gameplay is continuous, meaning any random item drops or upgrades to your ship, your health, your damage, your rate of fire, or even your weapon type or speed will all carry through for as long as you can maintain that consecutive gameplay until you die. And even though you can only purchase a certain amount of upgrades before you max them out, some of these random drops can make you beyond overpowered. You can only buy a certain amount of health, but one of the cool things in Null Drifter is if you pick up health, it just adds to a consistently increasing HP bar, and weapon upgrades never seem to stop. You can increase your attack power and your rate of fire, and even the spread shot to an insane level, eventually getting even to homing shots that will track and follow the enemies, and turn your little unassuming pixelated ship into the ultimate death machine. Graphically, Null Drifter is pretty unassuming. It is a 1-bit monochromatic game. But somehow, despite your ship consistently being a little triangle with a circle of a cockpit, all of the enemy sprites and characters and all of their styles of fire are completely unique. And of course, all of the bosses are incredibly challenging and offer their own level of difficulty for the game. The sound portfolio for Null Drifter as well is actually pretty impressive, considering that it's a synthetic, AI-composed, lo-fi soundtrack. And all of this put together with an incredibly tight control scheme just creates a really satisfying level of gameplay. And I am really happy to say that even as a gamer that generally kind of blows goats when it comes to twin-stick shooters and bullet hells, I really don't have any critiques to give to Null Drifter. It sets out to be something that it achieves perfectly. As a bullet hell, it definitely gets challenging. There is no lie there. I honestly couldn't make it much past level 13 in my best gameplay. But the learning curve of the game is very forgiving and really honest. And even though it can get really overwhelming, the game is always really fair. So looking at Null Drifter as a total package, if you are a retro gamer, if you're a nostalgia buff, if you're an existing fan of twin-stick shooter style games, or if you're like me and you already know you're not exactly particularly gifted in the genre, Null Drifter is probably a game you want to have on your radar. But anyway, that does about wrap up the review of Null Drifter now on the Nintendo Switch, so if you enjoyed the review, or especially if you found it helpful, feel free to throw me a like or a comment to show your support. And don't forget to click that little bell icon when you subscribe to stay updated with the latest content. Because the Budget Gamer channel is still pretty small and quickly growing, but every like, every comment, and certainly every subscription really does help. And with new and unique indie games coming out literally every single day, whether it's a gem or an easy hard pass, you're definitely going to find out about it right here. And if you really like what we do and you want to support the channel and help me create these reviews, I'd be more than happy to welcome you into our small crew of Patreons. They not only help me purchase the games, but they give me real critical insights on how to feature the content and how to continue developing. And they get advanced access to all of the reviews, so I mean, there's some benefits there. But anyway, this has been the Budget Gamer, so as always, thanks for watching.